testing. Yep, I think we're live. Excellent. Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is we're going to continue today with. Actually, I'm just going to turn the volume on the music down a little bit because it's a bit. Turn up there. Great, that should be okay. Okay, cool. I think we're good to go. Right. Well, so last week we did some stuff. Let's trunk serve, isn't it? Trunk serve to get this running, and just wait for that to build, and we'll see where we got to. So we have this. We have our lovely stylized menu, and yeah, we got to here. So we've got our room now ready to go, and the plan for this week, I was hoping, was to add side-to-side movements because I sort of thought it'd be a bit more interesting than just being able to hide, which is what you could do in Virtua Cop. Was that you basically had like I think you press the space bar and you like duck down behind some cover. Whereas this, I feel rather than putting cover in, I kind of want to do have a thing where you can move from side to side. So you're still on a rail and you can only move left and right, but you can at least then dodge incoming projectiles and things like that. So I'm thinking do that, and also to add a texture to the room to make it look less like a dice and more like a room. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I think first of all I'm gonna add the movement keys in first, because I think that's gonna be the most interesting the most interesting thing to start with, and then we'll start to get some textures up here, because I think after we texture it, the room's actually gonna look quite boring until we start adding all the other things in, like the assets. Like I want to put an altar at the end, I want to put some columns in and that sort of thing. We were starting to do that in the old 2D version before we hit the problem with the floor, but yeah, I think this should be good. So we will so first thing we need to do is to add spawners to the canvas so that we get the so we handle the key downs. And we're going to want to make a key manager. So key manager, we will. I'm going to copy one from another project, but I'll do it by hand. So that's assets. Where's the best place to put it? Is it model? It's not really related to models. So I think we do have a player module. Yeah, let's put it in the player module. So we've got key manager. The question is, did I cancel? Yeah, we're not actually pulling in the player. So mod player. I can't even remember what was on the player. Oh, it was the firing details. Okay, I'm going to take that module out for now. Key manager, there we go. So we've got that. Let's save this, and then here we want to create a pub struct. Key manager, and going to have the keys down. It's going to be private. It's going to be a vec of string. And we'll implement it. Oops. Implement key manager. Oops. AI is very helpfully trying to do this for us, but we will actually write this by hand. So we'll do self and set the. Yeah, so we will accept that one. It's just a new vec type string. So then we want to create a public function of handle key down, and in there, if the key is not already in the vec of strings, then we will push the key, and then for pub front handle key up. Okay, that's an interesting. Yeah, that's actually an interesting optimization of what I was going to do, which was to loop through all the keys and see if it was there. And essentially, yeah, this is just keeping any key that is not equal to the key, and then we will get the is key down. So essentially, so the problem we've got is that you can't from a browser query which keys are currently down. You get a message when the key is pressed, and you get a message when the key is released. And so that's what the key manager is resolving, is that it tracks when a key is down, it bungs it into this list of keys that we have, and when the key is lifted, it comes back out again. And that way you can query, is the key down at any time as to whether it's in this vector or not. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's just telling us we haven't actually implemented that anywhere, but it is of course going to go into our game, and we will put it in here. So key manager, and that will just be key manager. I don't like using fully qualified names for that; it gets a bit messy. So, but I will put that in there. Put in the crate, player, key manager, key manager. Cool, so we have that now, and set key manager new. That should compile. It does. Excellent. Okay, so we now have our key manager, and now we just need to plumb that in to there. So where are we? So in here, we want to handle on key down equals on key down, and on key up is going to be equal to on key up. What's it generated for us here? Okay, so the events keyboard event. Yep, that's great. That's what we want to see. It's calling mouse move. Oh yes. Okay, so we need to add two things in here. Oh, excuse me a second. Oh dear. Right. So key down string and key up. So those are two new messages. We're going to send within our component. And where are we? Yeah, key down and key up. Great. Okay, it's kind of figured it out. So we've got the key down message is going to get this keyboard event and just record key down and key up. Not sure why that's complaining. Can't find value on key up. Oh, that's okay. We'll save that. Okay, can find it now. But now we need to handle the messages. So in here, game message key down. And game message key up. Oops. Key here. And go. So now we're just telling the key manager handle key down, handle key up. Okay, great. And then this squiggly should go away. It did. Excellent. Did we set up an update function? We did not. Okay, so we want to. Probably the first thing we want to do is call self update, and that's function update. Oops, mute self. Okay, were we already updating? Self.view manager. Yeah, okay, we're already updating the view manager, so we don't need to do that. So, but what we will do is set the. What I can't remember is if the camera is attached to the view manager. It is. Yeah. So yeah, so our camera's here. So we're going to need to move the camera a little bit. Okay, it also pre-populated the delta. The delta is, since the last frame was called, how many milliseconds have passed. That's really useful for smoothing functions. Otherwise, obviously, the faster you're running, the faster you're running, the faster you move from side to side, which is not a good idea. So it's better to track it against time, and to use that to temper whatever you're doing. So if you have a particular speed, modify it by the delta, and you'll move at a smoother pace, even if the frame rate's jumping all over the place. So, okay, we probably want to store the player location in, yeah, it's whether we want to create an entire class for this. I think we probably do. Yeah, so we've still got this from the has fired stuff. Yeah, I think so. What we're going to do is going to put the player back in here, and okay, now it does not compile. Why is that? Okay, no point in utils. That's because we took all of our stuff out. So yeah, we'll get rid of all of that. We'll just get rid of the firing stuff. We'll add that back in at some point as we add the fireballs in, because all of this stuff was based on the original thing. So we've got yeah, update, fire, and render. That's great. We probably do not want a 2D context. I think we want the 3D context. Oops. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this properly and pull this stuff in from here. And that would be a GL. Update, we've got the delta, the firing. Yeah, let's get rid of fire for now. We can add that back in. Okay, get rid of that, get rid of that, and none of this stuff is needed either. Just want the rendering context at the moment. And actually, we don't really have anything to render there for now, but eventually I want to add the wand in. So that's like in a first-person shooter, normally where you'd be looking down the barrel of a gun. This will be a wand, or that's how I'd sort of seen it, meaning that you have a location where you can actually fire the thing from. And we'll put like a target and stuff on there too. So, but for now, we just want a location. So, and that will be. What do we create? So I'm just checking the utils, saying we've got. Okay, we've got location 3D. Yeah, let's use that. And so they've got underscores in front because they weren't being used, but we are about to use them. So location 3D. I'm pretty sure we were sat. We were sat at 0, 0, 0, I think. But I'm actually just going to check. It's going to find the camera, the view manager. Move camera. Okay, so we were at 1 minus 9. So the this needs to not be the default. It needs to be 1 minus 9. 0, minus 9. There we go. This will track the thing. Create utils location 3D. Great. Okay, and because it's the player, we also want to get the key manager. Key manager. We will use super key manager. There we go. Because we're actually in the right module. So I'm going to say if key manager dot is key down a, the x location minus equals, and we're going to make this a constant. Oh yeah, fire cooldowns. player speeds. I think we'll try 1 first, so it moves 1 unit per second. And then I guess for the D, also want to put that in, and it's correctly guessed that it's plus. So, and then we also want to be able to get location 3D, yep. Sorry, just getting a text. That's great content, this. Right, back to it. So we've got our get location. That's great because we now need, so we need to be able to update this from the main game loop. Game. Updates. Updates. Nope, that needs to be a reference, not a clone. And then in player, that needs to be a reference. So we're going to pass the actual key manager to it. And we don't have self.player because we've created it. So we now want to bring that one back in. And that. And after updating, why doesn't that like that? That's because we never imported it. Okay, import as. We'll jump back to our updates. Yeah, that needs to be game update because the update function exists on the component already. Player update, and then we'll do self.viewManager.camera.move camera to location, and then we want this to be player lock.x. Yeah, and we'll let that fill it in for us. Let's go player lock x, y, and z. So that should do that, and hopefully when we save this, it should compile. It doesn't like it. Why doesn't it like it? Oh, okay, yeah. That's not being called from anywhere, so get rid of that. And the min-max, get rid of that. These were just copied in the last one. Okay, cool. So now we have our thing, and we try it, and we press, and we're not getting the messages we'd expect. So let's go and put some debug in that. Let's make sure we are getting the key down message. We'll inspect. We'll load the console. Put the console over here. So now we should be okay. Yeah, we're not getting any of the. It's going to refresh the page. Okay, yeah. So these messages are not being recorded. So what's going on here? Canvas isn't getting messages. I'm also going to put one on the mouse down and see if that's working. Okay, so the mouse down is working, but the key down is not, which makes me think I've got the wrong name for that, or yeah, what's going on there? Okay, it could be I haven't enabled it. So on key down is the right name. It's possible that we need to set the tab index to make sure that the window has focus. Oops. Okay, well, that's a good start. In that it is now reacting. Yeah, so basically the thing never had focus. So that's good. Something's happening. It's not the right thing, but yeah, and it's moving way too fast. So let's make some adjustments here. So player speed, gonna make that 0.01, make it much slower. Okay, no, that is actually the right thing. Yeah, I see what's happening now. It's because it's still looking at the center point, and of course we need to stop it going outside the bounds of the room. So we will do that. Const player max x equals 0.5, I think. Did we make the room? Oh yes, we need to give it a let's give it a type as well. Constants require a type, and here, great, it's already predicted what we're about to do. And oops. So now we have it, and okay, that's not enough. So we're going to increase those to say 1.0. Okay, still not quite enough. Oh, we must have made the room too wide, I think. Sorry, 4 wide. There we go. Okay. Now, one thing I'm noticing is the keys are going in the wrong direction. So what we've done is got the signs wrong here. Oops. Okay, and now we're moving the right location. Let's try 1.9. Basically, I want to get as close to the wall as I can without clipping through it. So, yep, and 1.9 works. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to try 2. Yeah, 2 works as well. So, actually going to set that to 2. And now we need to also alter the look at as well. So let's search for get location. And it's here. So that's where it's getting the location. And I think eventually we want to put the mouse controlling the movement, so that you can look around the room using the mouse. But for now, we'll just set the camera to be self.view manager.camera.lookat, and the X will be there, and the Z. No, hang on. I want these to be 0 because I think it's looking at 0, 0, 0. So we'll do that. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. Okay, and now we're moving from side to side. So we've got a proper strafe going on rather than continuing to look at the side of the room. Sorry, to look at the center of the room, which is great. And I guess now we can start to look at adding the mouse move. Just thinking about how to do that. Okay, we have on mouse move. There we go, perfect. So on mouse move is already sending a mouse move events, and here we go. This is that's the mouse down. Let's collapse these, the mouse up. That's right, because we had the fires before. Yeah, probably don't care about this so much at the moment. So we now need to figure out self.player. No, we do need to do that because we need to track how much it's moved. And we want the X diff is going to be self. Hang on. before. Last x and first y, and then we store the ones for the next time, and we'll call self.player.look xdiff ydiff. So we now get the change in direction that we need to go to. That will fail compile because we don't have our look function. Yeah, the thing I'm not sure about is if we want to pass this as an F32 because all of the movement stored as F32. So I'll convert those there, and then we'll change these in here. And now we need to figure out where we're looking at and the max look at. So really we just want to change the angles of where we're looking at. This might not work because we might need to use a matrix rotation to make it truly truly feel like a proper game. But for now, I'm just going to see. I'm going to get the store the rotations. Yeah, and then we're also going to need a looking at. Yeah, let's store the. We'll call it look rot, and it's just going to be an F32 and an F32 because we're just looking up and down. They will be 0, 0. Lookrot.0 plus equals xdiff. Yes, we need to scale it. So the xdiff is going to be quite a large number, and we obviously need our rotation to be. Oh, what's frac pi 2? That's it's pi over 2. Did not know that constant existed. Okay, well, it's great that's actually going to save a lot of typing. Because normally I do pi times 0.5. So what it's done there is added a clamp to stop you looking up and down, and I think we also want to apply the same clamp to the x rotation as well. Stop. I should figure that out. Great, cool. So it's done that. I guess let's have a look and see what happens. Nothing. So why is that not passing? Oh yeah, because we're not actually calling, we're not updating based on that. Okay, well let's just do a glue console log look rotation. There we go. So we can at least get some messages out and see if we were okay. So this might work. So where are we? Game, and look at. So then we want the. Excuse me. Oh dear. A really dry throat today. I think it's like seasonal allergies or something. So we want the x position equals player log x. Actually, let's get the let's look at equals self.player dot get. Hang on. To add a fun get look rotation. Great. Yep, that's those. Look rotation. And it's going to be the self.player.x. Sorry, no, player location. Player location.x plus I don't know why it wants to do that. I think we want, look at dot zero dot sign. Yeah, I think that's right. And then we'll just add X and Y. I actually genuinely don't know what this is going to do. This is probably going to... Okay, well, it does something. So first thing I notice is that it is in the wrong... Yeah, as I go down, it's moving the camera up. So we want to do... I think we want to do that. Yeah, because we want it to track the mouse roughly. Although, in fact, actually, I'm going to just go to styles, CSS, main.css, and the canvas style. We'll do this for all canvases. We want to do, is it pointer none? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google this. I can't remember how you hide a pointer. Oh, is it cursor? Cursor none. I've got it wrong around, didn't I? Yeah, cursor. What do we have? Crosshair. Let's have a look at crosshair and see what that does. Okay, it's kind of cool, but it doesn't really track where we're looking exactly, which makes sense because it's not. Yeah, that's not quite right. So just going to do cursor none. There we go. Ooh, yeah, doesn't like that. It's kind of, I can't really describe what it's doing right now, but it's not, it just feels like you very easily go outside of the thing. Normally in a game what you do is actually pull the cursor back to the center. So on every update you track this and then go to, oh hello, we've got some clipping on that side. Okay, that must be the, right. Okay, this is why we needed the 1.9, so we're not clipping out. It's basically when I rotate and move too far to the side. Oh, it's only when it's full screen. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so normally in a game that's what you do, but obviously we're in a browser window, so we can't really do that. It's not strictly true you can do it. I've done it before with something, but it's really not. It's a real faff, and you have to like request user permissions for it, and it's a bit of a pain. So and we will tighten that up at some point, but for now I'll just do this so that we can at least get some movement looking around the room, and that will help us get a sense of our 3D space that we've got. Okay, cool. So should we try going to the middle and yeah. There we go. Right, so got that. Moving side to side, and we can look around a little bit as well, and we'll figure out a better way of doing this. It will need a matrix rotation, I think, for that. And once we load this into a Tory application, so that it is a desktop app, then we don't need to request permissions from the user in order to capture the cursor and to return it to the center. But before we do all of that, we should add a return button so that you can go back to the menu and quit the game. Otherwise it will be super annoying because you will have to Alt F4 to quit the game, that's not good practice. So we can have a look around the room now and move from side to side. It's still going quite fast, so I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more. Move at half the speeds. That's a little bit better, yeah, I think. Yeah, I think eventually we'll do yeah, add the cursor in and that sort of thing. Maybe it wants to be able to go a little bit higher actually. I think that's it. I feel like I can't quite look at the ceiling and I want to. So that's this one, and I'm going to try making it pi just to see what happens. Where are we again? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, we hit the curve already. So, yeah, it's coming back down again. So, I guess the big question is, do we even need to call sign on that? And actually, I'm just thinking about it, I don't think we do. We just need the lookout, we don't need to convert it. So what does that do? Okay, it doesn't let us. It's still not letting us go. Let's try adding standard F32 const pi over 2. Okay, nice. Yep, it's that, but we want to subtract it. In fact, actually, I'm going to try subtracting that and converting the. Still. Brackets in, make it a bit less, or a bit more obvious what's going on. Okay, we're still looking at the floor a lot, which is okay. Let's try inverting the sign on that. There we go. That's better. So now we're looking at the ceiling. Okay, we've got the sign right. But this is too big, halve that. That's it, now it feels a bit more like we're looking around the room. Yeah. Did we set the... Try setting the lower bound. I want to look a little bit more at the floor. Yeah, I think we're good there. Yeah, cool. Okay, so now we can look around the room and yeah, I've realized that the X is also inverted, so we're going to subtract the lookout X. That's better. Feels more like it. So now I'm moving the mouse and it's moving as I would expect it to. I move it forwards, I look up, I move it backwards, I look down again, and I move left and right, and I go left and right. Okay, and we can move side to side. We've got some nice rotations in there. I've got to be honest, doing this in 3D is so much easier than when we were trying to do it in 2D. That was really bonkers. So I'm glad that we've gone with a 3D model this time. Cool, so that's that. I'm going to commit that code and just need to get rid of the glue consoles that we put. I'm going to do that from here, that's all good. Yeah, oops, put this back because we're not actually using it. Save us a warning on the compile. Don't need that. Scroll down, look at those glue consoles. There's one. There's another. So this is, oh yeah, I was just trying to figure out why we had so many changes, but of course we've gutted the original player class, so, well, not class, object, struct of the components, and so we will do round and move side to side. Okay, gameRS has some unsaved changes. Let's see what those were. Oh, it was some code cleanup. Cool, okay, so we've got those. And now let's get on to the texture. So my plan for the texture is that, yes, I created a script before to generate the tiles. And now we need to do the same thing, but it needs to be a graphic. I feel that this is quite blocky for what it is, so I don't think 1024 by 1024 is going to cut it. I'm going to go with 4096 by 4096. So it must be a, it has to be a square, and it has to be a power of 2. So I think 4096 is going to work, and forget how. Yeah, I did. Okay, so it's quarters. So each of these points on here is, so that's like a quarter of the way down. That's half the way down. That's 3/4. And we just need to create our sides like this in here. So we will first of all come out of here. Create a new application. We'll call this like texture, or let's see, skybox generator. And we also need a virtual environment. We have a virtual environment, so call that apps. VM scripts activates. So we're using a, we have to source it because we're in a bash terminal. Yeah, so using a virtual environment, it's sort of beyond the scope of what I wanted to talk about today, but if you're using Python, you should use a virtual environment, install all your dependencies in there instead. So we have this, and let's just pick list, just seeing what's installed. Pillow's already installed, that's great. So from here, we can just grab the import PIL from image. We create a new image. Image size equals 4096. Common practice to do. Okay, well, it's generated a whole bunch of stuff here, and it's given us an output texture name. Okay, it's created a file name, but then hard coded it in the save anyway. That's really, that's awesome. Okay. Oh no, it's trying to open an existing image. Okay, yeah, let's get rid of that. So we want to do im.putPixel, and I'm just going to set this to, let's make it all blue to start with. Oops, not equals. Good, and then at least we can run our app, skybox generator. Just see what happens. Okay, well, it's output something. It did not output the color. So what's going on there? Oh, wait, it's added a step. I don't really get that. Okay. Oops, image size. There we go. Right, this should work. It's the problem with this like auto-filled code. It quite often does something that's completely unrequired. Okay, that took a long time, but it did fill in our box. To be fair, it was looping through each of the 4096 by 4096 pixels and adding them. So that's cool, but that's not what we want. We want to create different colors. So we're going to do the, sorry, I forgotten not in Rust anymore. We want to check that we can get the thing. So let's try and fill in this square first. We'll fill that one in blue. I'll call it square one, just because we can use this as a reference. So this is one because that's where we put one on the dice, or where I put one on the dice. So I'm going to go from 0 to image over 4, and this wants to start from image size over 4 to image size over 2. I want to do that. So let's run that just to check. Oh, it doesn't like that. Right, yeah. We need to cast that as an int because it's trying to actually, let's do, let's move this outside to keep it sort of that, and x equals, oh wait, I got that wrong. Start x is 0. And we'll do start y equals, start y is going to be image size over 4, and end y is going to be start image over 2. So just replace these. Okay, I forgot to cast that. Otherwise it's a float, and of course you can only do range between 2 integers. So let's go and check our image. Excellent, we've got our blue square. So the next thing to check is do square 2 now. We'll make this one green. So the y is going to be the same. Okay, it's predicted. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, we'll make this one green. Go check our image. Excellent. We've got a green square. And I can't remember where 3 is on the dice skin. It's at the top. Okay, so square 3. That's going to be over 4. And that's going to be over 2. Start y is going to be 0. And end y is going to be over 4. And yeah, it's correct, I guess. I was going to put a red one there. So run our image generator. So there we go. Yep, got that. Where is 4 on the dice? 4 is right at the bottom. So square 4. That's correct. The start y is wrong. So yeah, starting from 4. Over 4 times 3. On earth did it get that? Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think that's going to be a lot easier to read as multiplied by 0.75. And we'll make this yellow. Great, that's worked. And then I'm guessing 5 was the next one. No, 5 is the end one. Great. Square 5. Sorry, just checking in on the stream, making sure everything's still going. It is still going, which is great. So square 5. I just realised I didn't start the recording. I was going to record this as well. It's annoying. Oh well. Okay, so square 5 we want to is all the way at the end, so that's going to be times 0.75. It's going to be 2 image size, and the y is going to be the same. No, the y is going to be the same as square 1, which is a quarter to 2. What color do we want to make this? I guess blue again? Yeah. Sorry. Let's get more. Okay. So put the blue. I guess we can also try and create square 6 now as well, which is going to be this over 2 to that times, oops, 0.75. Oh, actually no, sorry, we want to make square 6 blue, and then what's this one going to be touching? It's going to be touching the blue, touching the, it should be green. Yeah. Yeah, actually we should make them opposites, I guess. But yeah, we'll go with green for this one. Oh, actually we could try. Yeah, let's try that. We make it green, like full green, full blue. Okay, this should be it. And then from here we should be able to check back in, see the floor. Great. Okay, so we've got our basic start blocks. So now we can fill in the patterns that we want. Just check back in on this. So we can see that 5 is actually the ground. So that's going to be the light blue square on our thing. 1 and 6 are the 2 walls, and then 3 is the back wall. So looking at our dice skin, 3 is the top one, so that's our back wall there. And what do we say, 1 and 6 are the sides. So I'm guessing 2 is behind us. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then 5 is the floor. So let's do the floor first. And I was hoping to, so I wanted a sort of stone pattern. So where are we going from? I'm gonna draw this out because it's gonna be easier. So we want to essentially I want to start by making a grid, and I want two colors. So I want a line color. And the entire height of the thing is going to be 4096 over 4, which is 1024. So it's 512. It's going to be the height of this one. The height of each block is 512 pixels, and then for each of those I get 512 to play with. So if I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, for the floor we could do like a Harlequin pattern. That could be quite fun. Let's have a look at that. So we want to do 512 for the whole thing. So halfway is going to be 256. Halfway again is 128. I'm trying to decide what size we want for the squares. So 1, 2, 8, 64, 32, 16. I'm going to go with 32 pixels per square. So let's. So these are the ranges that the stuff needs to go into. So this is like every square. So I want to do if so I think we want to do x equals, so it's going to be 32 wide, we need to divide by 64. Divide by 64. Let's divide by 64. Wait, if you divide by 64, so if you're at 64, divide by 64, you get 1. No, I think we want to do modulo 64, and then divide by 64. And if out x is less than 5, we'll start with white, else put black square there. So go with 0, 0. So this should put lines because we've not actually done the it did. Excellent. So we've now got our stripes coming down there, and now we just need to break it up. What I'm going to do is do the same thing. Y equals y modulo 64 divided by 64, and then in here, if out y is less than 0.5, then well, it's going to be the inverse, isn't it? So, 5. I've done these ones are the wrong way around. This one is right. I want it to start on a white in the top left. So no, wait. If it's starting at white top left, then yeah, maybe that is right. Let's try running that. See. Okay, no, what that did was just flip that. I think we need to. There we go. Excellent. We've got that Harlequin pattern now. So let's try copying this into here. I'm just going to call it skybox instead of 496, 496. Search for where we imported the dice skin. Yeah, it's just called skybox. So we'll have a look at that and wait for. Oh no, it's not going to rebuild because I'm not running. Open a new tab to keep this running. Serve. Excellent, there we go. And now we can see our room is starting to take shape. It's obviously stretched the floor tiles a little bit, but I'm actually okay with that. I think it looks quite cool. But we can see we've got our Harlequin pattern. Now we want to take the two blue walls and turn those into actual walls. And we'll probably use a similar idea of using our generative stuff. So where are our blue walls? Well, this one is a blue wall, so we'll start there. So for this, actually let's just try and take the same. Same pattern, so we'll go out X, out Y. And then if, actually I'm going to need a color picker here because I want to actually, just Googling this. So yeah, I wanted to go for like a sandstony color. So we'll start from orange and then we'll see how it looks to start with. But we'll start with that one. We want the RGB values. Call this light sandstone. And dark sandstone. That's for the lines. We're going to pick a. I'll just use that one. Cool. Right. So if out X is less than 0.5, no, not 0.5, because we don't want it to be a pattern like that. We want it to be much smaller. In fact, actually, we can probably actually do. No, I think we do want 64. I actually might make it bigger, if anything. So if it's less than 0.1, then we want to put dark sandstone, else light sandstone. And you know what? I'm just gonna save it twice and do im.save backup 1, then into assets texture skybox. There we go. So it'll automatically reload when it's been run. Should save. This should rebuild. There we go. Hey, oh, got a build failure. I've got a build failure. Huh? Why did that not like it? Oh, okay, right. It doesn't like the fact that we're trying to save stuff that we've got open. Yeah, okay. It's just something the timing was wrong. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's starting to look a bit like wood paneling now, and now we'll start to add some of the other things in. Okay, so start with a grid. I think this is going to be patchy, to be honest. Oh, I didn't actually rerun it. Okay, yeah, so it's given us points now. That's not exactly what I was looking for, but okay, but we can see those points there, which is cool. So we can do this. Yeah, so that's going to be dark sandstone. Oops. Stop. Sorry, the thing that inserts code automatically is interfering with the key presses. Oh, why is this dark sandstone? Okay, yeah, there we go. That's what we want. Oh, didn't do that. Okay, it's given us a grid. That's a good start. We'll just see how that looks on the wall. Excellent. Now we just need to offset them. So, go down each one. It scrolls from top to bottom, left to right, and we want to know if not flipped. Keep forgetting I'm not in Python, not in Rust. Okay, if not flipped, and that's L if flipped. And we want this to be, and out y is greater than 0.4, and out y is less than 0.5, then dark stands down. Okay, so this is going in the middle now. But now we need to figure out how to flip it. And it will flip when we are here. So as it's going down, yeah, it can only change. Oh no, hang on, how does this? I think it'll work because we're working with exactly flipped equals not flipped. Yeah, I think that's basically when we get halfway down each block, we want to invert whether we're doing the next line. Let's have a... I'm honest, I've got a little bit lost now. Okay, yeah, that did not work. So, we can't scroll. That's my skybox generator. Okay, so that did work. Yeah, I know what we can do. There we go. Yeah, so what we're doing now is just checking, basically dividing by 2 lines height, and if we're in the first half, we choose the first path, and if we're in the second one, we choose that. So let's see how that works. It's not what I wanted. Okay, it sort of worked, but not quite. Actually, no, it didn't work at all. Is that even skewed in the right direction? Oh, okay, yeah, it did skew in the right direction, but it didn't. But it hasn't blocked out the second lot, so So flipped is if y is greater than y modulo 128 is greater than or equal to 64, then it's flipped. If not flipped, then out y. Just going to see what happens when we do this. Oh, yeah, I've put the flip on the wrong bit, haven't I? Have I? No, because it's... Oh, do I need to put the... Do I need to add the flip here? If not flipped, like that. Yep. So if x is less than 0.1, yeah, I put it on the wrong thing. Oh no, I think I just need to do the same. Yeah, I think it just needs to do the same thing for the x. Okay, that's new and interesting. Wow, I've gotten very lost here. Oh. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Okay, that also didn't work. So let's take that out. Let's go back to this again. So yeah, the y should determine, yeah, the y should always be dark if it's less than 1 because we want lines across. So we want if out y is less than 0.1, then we'll do dark sandstone, else that, and it's the x coordinate. If the x is, yeah, there we go, right, if not flipped. Okay, that's, yeah. Another interesting pattern, not what we wanted, but it's there nonetheless. Okay. So oh yeah, we don't. Yeah, I've got it now. Not flipped. apologies to anyone that's watching this back, going and yelling at the screen. Who spotted what I should have been doing. There we go. There we go. That's what we wanted. So, cool. And okay, it looks quite cool, but I think we can do better. We want to. I think I want to double the density in the X direction to make it a bit more square. So skybox generator. So in the X direction, I'm going to make this 32. Let's see what happens there. Okay, yep, that's good. And then when it stretches out, it's gone in the opposite direction than I thought it would. Okay. So we'll just do that, flip that around. Okay, that's even more interesting. That's going on there. Oh, it's because it's doubling up. Okay. Right. Go back to 64, 64. Get rid of all this stuff so that it's just the code that we're working with. Okay, yeah, we're back to a sensible thing there. I'll just have a look at what that looks like. Yeah, I mean, it's tolerable. It's not. I think there's going to be a lot of improvement needed, and I'm going to run some experiments in between these streams to try and get some better textures. So I could have a look at maybe even stealing some real life textures to work with. Cool. I think we'll do the left-hand wall and the back wall, and then probably leave it because I haven't had any thoughts yet on what to do for the ceiling. I think I'd quite like a temple-ish vibe. I mean, for sure, the whole thing needs to be made darker and more expressive, but yeah, I think I want to go for like a broken temple vibe, at least for this area. And then the idea was that much like Virtua Cop, when you've like completed an area and defeated all the enemies in that area, you'll get put on a rail and like driven to the next location. Yeah, and that's so, and that way you can start to make some new different locations. I've already had an idea for like a hallway with like stairs and stuff. But yeah, I think I want to go for like a general temple vibe. So yeah, let's put the same pattern on the left-hand wall, and on the back wall, I wanted to put a like an archway in the middle. We'll see how that goes. See whether we get the archway finished by today, but I think we can pretty much, and I forget which one, it was the other blue one, wasn't it? So let's look at the other blue colour. The other blue colour's here. I think we can pretty much just take this, drop it in, rerun this, see what happens. Yeah, that works. And then we want to do the same for the back wall. We'll check the dice skin. I forget which one the back wall was. It was red, wasn't it? It's 3. So that's going to be the third one. So yeah, I think it's that. Let's let's check out what it looks like. 2 walls. Hey, it's coming together now. Okay, and there we go. Now we've got a back wall as well. Just going to have a quick. Just going to leave this here so that we know which one is which. And now we need to. So yeah, actually, I think let's make a square doorway. I'm going to say if. And I'm just going to make the doorway black, and so we'll just leave like a black hole there for now. Also going to create it's called section width is image size over 4. So if x is greater than section width, because we want it to section width over 2 minus, let's make, create new thing, so door size. The door size, let's try this. So the whole thing is 512. So, and like each block is 32. So, let's just have a look. So 30. So is each, yeah, each block is 32. So we want 2 blocks. That's not really that wide, is it? 3, 4. Okay, so 32, 64. Let's try 128. Actually, let's set door width, and then we'll make the door height. Yeah, let's try. Okay, yeah. So square 3, wasn't it? Back wall. Yep. Okay. The door start is going to be the section width minus door width over 2, yep, and door end is going to be door start plus door width. Excellent. Door, sorry, that's the X. X is greater than door X start and door Y start equals yeah, now the question is whether it starts on the top of the right. I think it's going to be section width minus door height, and door Y end is section width. Yeah. So, and Y is grid. There we go, it's figured it out. IM.putPixel. Let's make it a little bit grey. Let's go 25 in each of these. Spelled the variable name wrong. Okay, well that did not work. So let's skybox generator. debug by printing the door coordinates out. These. Ah, yeah. Yeah, okay. So because the block's offset, this is working as though the block was. Yeah. Okay. So we want to do x minus image. Oh gosh, this is getting complicated. Image size over 4. Oops. I want to subtract the starting position. Put this on the next line. Stop. Okay, and y. So the. Oh no, hang on. The x is going to be, yeah, it's the x minus over 4. Yeah, because it's there. We need to take into account that we just shift it along. And the y is okay because that starts at 0. So I think we're good. I don't know why it's not liking the multi-line syntax there, but okay, I'll just stick it on the same line. There we go, we've got a door, and of course the door is on the ceiling, so that's great. So we've got our logic ever so slightly wrong. The door Y start is going to be the section height will be 0, and that will just be door height. Oops. There we go. Excellent. We've got our door at the end there. I'm just going to try increasing the door width to 256. Just curious what that looks like, but then we'll call it a day on this. Yeah, I think I prefer that, but let's have a look at it in place. Yeah, I think that's better. Like the wider door. I think at some point I'd like to put a little arch over the top as well, but that's going to involve getting stuck into sine and cos and things. But I think that's probably a good place to end the stream. So we've managed to get our room. We've got the first part of our textures. I mean, they'll need improvement, obviously, over time, but we've got those. We can regenerate them and modify the script anytime we want. After this, I will push the code up to GitHub. The link will be in the description I think it's probably already in the description of the live stream, but I'll double check and make sure everything's up to scratch. But yeah, thanks very much, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed watching this, and catch you in the next one.